This is the book of Psalms chapter 34 and verse 7. The angel of the Lord encampeth around about them that fear him, and delivereth them. O taste and see that the Lord is good.
Right? The angel of the Lord encamps around those that fear him. Right? So when you depart from that fear of the Lord, the angels that's protecting you departs from you. Right? And guess what? You get left up to any old vile affection, right? Any old evil spirit that you already battled. Because what does Christ tell us? Christ tells us that when that demon leaves, he go get 7 more stronger than he is. And what do you do when that demon goes and gets the same demon that overthrew David, the same demon that overthrew Solomon, right? Because you don't got God with you, because you be sinning. Go ahead.
This is the book of Psalm chapter 23 and verse 4. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod and thy staff, they comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of mine enemies.
The Most High, he prepares a table for us in the presence of our enemies. And that table is being prepared right now. Right? That table is being prepared. And that table is only for us. Christ even alludes to that in Matthew the 15th chapter, when he says what? It's not good to take the children's bread and give it to the dogs. Where you gonna eat that bread at? At that table that God has prepared for you in the midst of your enemies. Right? That's where it's gonna be at. And they that looked on us like we was nothing but niggas and spicks and tomahawks, they're gonna be ashamed and confounded when that powerful black man known as Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahweh, shall crack that sky and deliver us out this place. They're gonna say, damn, we treated them niggas like that, and they've been God's people the whole time. What's going on, King? You doing all right? We just out here to let the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man, woman, and child know that they are the Hebrew Israelites. Young King, you ever heard you was Israelites?
Yes.
All praises to the Most High. You know what tribe you come from? This is Pops? So-called African American. Give me Genesis 49. Give me Deuteronomy 33.
Bring it up.
We prove who the Israelites are through prophecy, archaeology, and history. There are certain things that's going to be on all the tribes that let us know who they are today. Give me Genesis 49 and 1.
It's the book of Genesis, chapter 49 and verse 1. Bring it out. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days.
Right, so this is Jacob telling his sons, telling the patriarchs of the 12 tribes, all of this is going to happen to you in these last days. This is going to be one of the indicators that we use to determine who the people are. Go ahead.
Verse number 8. Judah, thou art he whom thy brethren shall praise.
It said Judah is he whom thy brethren shall praise. You look at the sign, the tribe of Judah is the so-called African American. We are the trendsetters, right? Everybody want Jordans, right? Who wanted some Larry Bird? You ain't never heard somebody say, man, I'm finna go get them Larry Birds, man. No, they want them Jordans, they want the Bronze, the Kobe's, right? Ain't nobody say, man, we finna go get some Lucas. You trying to go to Foot Locker get some Lucas? Hell no. Look what's on your hoodie. See what I'm saying? Judah is he whom thy brethren shall praise. And that's in everything. That's not just in how we dress. We are actually some of the most intellectual people on the face of the planet Earth. Right? Go ahead. This book is written by so-called blacks and Hispanics. Right. This is how intellectual and how close to God that we are. Right? Go ahead.
Thy hand shall be in the neck of thine enemies. Thy father's children shall bow down before thee.
We the trendsetters. We're the head of the whole nation. Jesus Christ himself, real name is Yahushua, came from the tribe of Judah. That means the same blood that was pouring through his veins, the same blood that was shed to save us, is the same blood that you got coursing through your veins. It's, you remember Kendrick's song, I got loyalty, got royalty inside my DNA. You got royalty inside your DNA.
Right.
And this is what your enemies and your oppressors don't want you to know.
Right.
Because if we can get a young brother like you to recognize and understand that you are a child of God, that you're not just any of the names they call you, black, niggas, that you're not none of that, that Jesus Christ looked like you, that would mean you would command a certain level of respect from the people around you, wouldn't you? That's what they don't want, because they don't want us to know, wait a minute, King David was my ancestor? The same, so the power he got is the power I got? They don't want you to know that.
Verse number 9. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, thou art gone up.
Judah is a lion's whelp, a young, rambunctious lion, right? From the prey that are going up.
He stooped down, he crouched as a lion, and as an old lion.
You know, when the older you get, you slow down. Your joints don't start working. You're not as lively. That's a downtrodden state. That's what we're in right now, a downtrodden state.
Who shall rouse him up?
That's what we waiting on. We waiting to see who's gonna rouse Judah up. Because once Judah start moving, everybody else is gonna start moving. We move the needle, right? That's why everybody wanted civil rights. What did they wait on? They waited on the Dr. Kings, the Malcolm X's. They waited on black people to decide to start moving. Right? And they leached themselves to our movements. Right? That's why when we protest, our enemies come amongst us and riot. See, look at how rowdy and rambunctious and ghetto those black people are. But that's you. You see what I'm saying? Now watch this. Deuteronomy 33.
This is the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 7.
Bring it out.
And this is a blessing of Judah. And he said, Hear, Lord, the voice of Judah, and bring him unto his people. Let his hands be sufficient for him.
So it said, let his hands be sufficient for him, and always hear the voice of Judah, right? What was we doing in them cotton fields? Singing Negro spirituals. Swing low, sweet chariot. Waiting for to carry us home. Singing them kumbaya is a Hebrew word, kwambaya, meaning rise up, Yahweh, rise to us, Yahweh, right? That's how we were thinking and singing in those fields, remembering our God and waiting and patiently begging and pleading like we always have for him to come back and deliver us. But it's conditional. We got to do what we got to do. Can you tell me how black people got over here to America? You don't know? You never heard of the transatlantic slave trade? So this is what it started in 1619. Europeans started coming to the western shores of Africa and gathering up black people from the western shores of Africa, bringing them over here as slaves. Because they enslaved the Native Americans first, our brothers Native Americans, but they knew the land too well. You can't enslave somebody at home. If you go home and you put a blindfold on, you know how to navigate your house. If I come over there blindfolded, I'm gonna run into a wall, fall down some stairs. Can't enslave nobody in their own home, so they had to go get somebody else that don't know the land, but can work. Because what was Judah's blessing? Let his hands be sufficient for him. Right? This is how we came up with it.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it was told if we don't obey God, all of these things will happen to us. And here's one of the things that was prophesied to happen to us, verse 68.
Into Egypt again with ships.
Egypt literally means between a rock and a hard place. The Hebrew word matzazarium, ma is with, tazar means rocks, and when you put yam at the end, it makes it plural. So literally with the rocks, between a rock and a hard place. What was we doing in Egypt? We were slaves, right? So he said, I will bring you back into slavery. I will put you back in that bondage, that between that rock and a hard place again. How?
With ships.
The first time we walked out of Egypt, we walked in, we walked out. We walked in 70 souls, we walked out almost an innumerable multitude. Right? So we wouldn't need ships to get back there. This is letting you know what? This is not the physical Egypt, but it's going to be a place that spiritually is like Egypt.
This is the book of Revelations chapter 11 and verse 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
So there's a place that spiritually is called Egypt because it embodies the same things that ancient Egypt did. And you look at America, look at the back of a dollar bill, it's a pyramid. You look at Memphis, Tennessee, they got a pyramid. Memphis is the name of a city in Egypt. They've tried to model themselves after Egypt as much as they could. So the Lord said, I will bring you into slavery again with the ship.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondmen.
He said, when we get off these ships to this place that we don't know nothing about, we will be sold to our enemies for what?
For bondmen and bondwomen.
You know what a bondman and a bondwoman is? Slaves. A slave man and a slave woman.
And no man shall buy you.
That means no man will come and redeem us. That's why you go to school, you hear about Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Martin Luther King, Even Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, all have tried, but it's been to no effect. Because the only thing that's going to save us out this captivity is our obedience to God. And that's why Christ told young kings like you that the kingdom of heaven lies within you. Don't listen to, oh, it's over here, it's over there. It's in you. Because you have the power to manifest it with your obedience to God. See what I'm saying? So that's how we know who the people of the book is. That's how we can determine what tribes the people come from, by the blessings and the curses that God told us that we would go through. Right? All praises, gang. Oh yeah, you too, gang. You too, gang. All praises to the Most High. Give me 76, somebody, real quick while they walk away. I got this for y'all too while y'all walk away. Go ahead.
It's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7 and verse 6. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
No, niggas is just below everybody.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
No, fight for equality.
Above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
For too long, we've been fighting for equality when God said we above everybody else. So why do we want to lower ourselves to be equal with people who are meant to serve us? They meant to serve us. Why are we trying to be servants? Why are we trying to be equal to a servant when we the kings? Right? We the ones that they supposed to come to and answer to. Right? And it's going to be that way as soon as you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans wake up to who y'all are and do what it is that your God commanded you to do. Right? And that don't mean keep going to church. Oh, I love going to church. To hell with going to church. Because all they doing to you is lying to you in there. All they doing to you is I call mental molestation. That's all they doing to you. They teaching you everything against what God said do. That's why you can read a verse to a Christian and, oh, you're taking that out of context. Well, can you tell me what the context is? Nope. It don't make sense though, man. Give me Hosea 4 and 6. Give me Hosea 4 and 6. This is why God told us this. The brother read it earlier. The Lord said these are sottish children. That word sottish just means stupid. It's just stupid, right? Because you keep following stupid people. Right? Somebody that wasn't even supposed to touch the book taught you the book. And if you don't got his validation about the book, then you don't know the book. What's going on, sister? You doing all right? All praises to the Most High. We just out here to teach our people. That the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American are not those names. Their real name is Hebrew Israelites from one of the various 12 tribes. Is your father a so-called African American? Is your father a so-called African American? So-called. Then that means you are from the tribe of Judah. A princess, a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Judah. Right? That's your name. But they stripped that away from you. And it was prophesied that would happen to us. Give me Jeremiah 7. Hold that. Give me Jeremiah 17:4 real quick. God told us that if we would disobey him, we would discontinue from what we were doing. Go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 17 and verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
So God prophesied to us that we would discontinue from our heritage. And that we would go to a land that we don't know and we will be cut off. Why? What is our heritage that we discontinue from? Give me Deuteronomy 33. Give me Deuteronomy 33 and verse 4. Deuteronomy 33 and 4.
It's the book of Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 4. Moses commanded us a law, even the inheritance of the congregation of Jacob.
Moses commanded us a what?
A law.
A religion.
A law.
Moses commanded us a law, and that's our inheritance. Give me Romans 3. That's what makes us so. That's what separates us and makes us so special. That's what makes us above all nations. Is the law, right? And I'm gonna go to the Christian's God, our beloved brother Apostle Paul, and see what Paul said. Since Jesus Christ and since the Most High's words aren't good enough for you, let's go to the beloved brother Apostle Paul and see what Paul told us. Go ahead.
This is the book of Romans chapter 3 and verse 1. What advantage then hath the Jew? Or what profit is there in circumcision?
How y'all sisters doing? Y'all doing all right? Enjoying this Saturday? We out here for y'all. We out here to let y'all know that y'all are princesses, Hebrew Israelites, God's chosen people. Right? Y'all got to come back to God. God loves y'all. We love y'all. And y'all need to love God. And love God means keeping his commandment.
What advantage then has the Jew? But if while we seek to be justified by Christ, we ourselves also are found sinners, is therefore Christ the minister of sin? God forbid.
Christ never taught y'all to be sinners. God forbid means just hell no. That's biblical for hell no. Christ is not the minister of sin. He did not teach you to sin. Right? Go ahead.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12 and verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For God shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil.
And that's self-explanatory, plain upon tables and don't need a breakdown. With that, I'm going to close out and say, Call Tawadathallah Yahweh, Bashima Mashiach Yahushai, Shalom.
Shalom.
Go, Nashar.